The messiness of reproduction and the dishonesty of anti-abortion propaganda. Like the sleeper hit, Unplanned, recent legislation in Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio strenuously avoids the complexities of pregnancy and childbirth. Let's have some fun, shall we? Before we get down to business, I want to show you something. And then I'm going to answer a question that some of you might be asking. Let's see where to go. Oh, there it is. I just want you to look at this. Look at that face. Look at that face. Is that a happy camper? Is Miss Gia Tolentino, staff writer at the New Yorker, is this the person that you can't wait to have lunch with? That you're like, oh my gosh, I wonder if she's going to text me today. We could be going and, maybe have a coffee or two and chat. Is this the person you want to hang out with? I'm just saying. This is the picture that she knows is representing her and her body of work at the New Yorker. I don't like going for personal attacks, but she chose that picture, and it's not a real picture. It's a cartoon. And, are we viewing into the soul? Don't know. The messiness of reproduction and the dishonesty of anti-abortion propaganda. Oh my God. Are you seriously doing another video on this subject? Well, this subject keeps coming up over and over and over, so yes, I am. Do I want to do videos on other subjects? I really do. I really, really want to do some videos on the whole college situation, and eventually I will get to it. But this stuff is just easier to do, and it gets no views whatsoever, but I keep coming back to it because it keeps coming up, and I look at it like this. My job is to respond to stuff that's coming up with a critical and different eye, sometimes with humor. Some people don't like the humor, but that's okay. The messiness of reproduction and the dishonesty of anti-abortion propaganda. There are two things in this very, very long article that actually address the messiness of reproduction. And there's absolutely only one thing that she deems dishonesty of the anti-abortion propaganda. So, if you want to talk about dishonesty and propaganda, this article is both dishonest in its headline, and the entire article is propaganda towards her point of view. Nothing wrong with that. But she's trying to use it as a disparaging remark. So, there's a word for when you call out people for doing what you're doing, and we'll let you fill that in. Okay, let's see if it saved the section that I wanted to go over. Yep, it did. There we go. Now, in one of the videos I made, there was some comments that nobody wants to have an abortion. And I replied back, yes, there's several activists who cheer for it and say it's a beautiful thing, and the fact that this commenter hadn't found those comments just means it hadn't caught traction with the widespread. But this is the New Yorker, and this is yet another example of what I was talking about to the commenter. So the commenter can if they happen to watch this video too, they'll see that unfortunately, no, there are people completely cool with it. Anti-abortion propaganda like Unplanned, the movie, or like Gosnell, the transparently racist, repulsive criminal justice movie that was recently screened in Donald Trump's White House. Did we know that it was Donald Trump's White House? I thought it was the people's White House, and he's just residing there. So for a group of people that said he's not my president, then why did you just give him the deed to the White House? That doesn't make any sense. And I also want to take quite umbrage with this Gosnell, the transparently racist. If you've seen the movie, I dare you to point out how it was racist. I dare you. And you'll notice she provides zero evidence that it was racist. Because look, the little highlighter button is under Donald Trump's White House. Apparently that links to another saying that he has the deed to the White House now for reasons unknown. But there is no link to this racist. This is another example of mudslinging without data to back it up. Kind of like the headline. I continue. Is produced to have an impact. Doesn't everyone in Hollywood make a movie to have an impact of one form or another? Seems kind of futile to go through all that work and all that money if you're not trying to have some type of impact. 1 in 4 American women will have an abortion. 91% of them within the first trimester, either through the administration of oral medication or through an in-clinic vacuum aspiration procedure. Think about that, people. Vacuum. Aspiration. Vacuum. Okay. That takes around 10 minutes. For many women, an abortion is not only non-traumatic, but a life-altering blessing. You think people don't want to have an abortion? You think people think it's all tragic and boo-hoo-hoo? For many women, abortion is not only non-traumatic, but a life-altering blessing. This is the New Yorker. This is an example that some women are completely non-traumatized by it, and they think it's a beautiful thing. It's a blessing. Most, however, don't talk about it much. These movies then can slide in with ultrasound images of a sentient, desperate 13-week fetus, or in the case of Gosnell, which I regretfully paid to stream on my laptop, graphic descriptions of an abortion performed via the insertion of a ball of blades into the uterus, and present this as a reality of what abortion is. Are you going to argue that that's not the situation? Let's see. Before Roe v. Wade was decided, the horrific abortions Dr. Kermit Gosnell tested out this hideous experimental device on more than a dozen women. Oh, so you're not denying it. Okay. So it's true, even though it's graphic. Interesting. What Gosnell did and what I do may both result in ended pregnancies, but there is no other parallel. A friend who provides abortions at Planned Parenthood told me, hold on, another spam call. Do you guys get those? Are they not just the most annoying thing? I am not a belief-free pregnancy-ending monster. I walk with my patient into a gray area where we actively engage the ethics of the thing. I wonder what the word, seriously? Not only is it spam, they left a message. Hate it when that happens. I walk with my patient into a gray area where we actively engage the ethics of the thing. Again, what is the word thing applying to? The situation or the baby? And I'm guided by clear conviction in someone's right to bodily autonomy, to live their life on their own terms, healthy and free of harm, on their own terms. Blessing, non-traumatic, blessing, free of their own terms. I'm sorry, commenter. There's people that are completely, very much okay with it, and they're being published in the New Yorker, just like the other ones were published in the left-wing articles. And I'm sorry, if you didn't know the New Yorker is left-wing, well, there's a whole pro-abortion article that uses propaganda and misinformation to point out their point of view, and they even do it in the headline with propaganda of the headline and the misinformation of the misinformation, with this adorable woman that everybody can't wait to hang out with. Let's look at her again before we sign off. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Hey, let's do lunch maybe next week. Yeah, maybe next week. We hope you enjoyed the content, and if you did, feel free to like, subscribe, come on back anytime. You're always welcome here as part of the family, and we'll see you in the future.